fractious now than it was before?
No, actually for the last couple of years it was much less fractious. What happened is that half the council really were unhappy with Laura Miller every single day of the week. So what would happen is that she'd come up with something she wanted to do, and they made it their goal in life to make sure she didn't get it. Conversely, if she didn't want to do it, they made it their goal in life that it would happen. So it was just infighting all the time. And I think actually the last 3 years or so have been much calmer and much more, I saw much more cooperation. But what I didn't see is it's not always good to go along to get along. You know, there's important things that happen down at City Hall where people, they need to speak up if something doesn't seem like it's right. So I do agree that the cohesiveness, the ability to work together is important. But you also, I think, just have to be able to say, you know, wait a minute, folks, think about this. But I do think it's been tolerable over the last
She
year.
was such a sharp dresser. How could I get against anything she wanted to do?
Laura?
Yeah.
Well, they didn't like her before she got on, and they didn't like her after she got on, you know. And she used to make attempts at first to try and call every council member when she wanted to do something and get their opinion and talk to them about, you know, how would they feel about this. But, you know, there's just so much time in a day, and you can't touch base with 14 people on every issue all the time. So, you know, she tried, but it just didn't really last too long. Harriet?
I agree that if you're thinking about the bond issue and repair of the levies as being a top priority, do you have any idea what some of the goodies these people are thinking about to put in the next bond issue?
No, I don't. You know, I really honestly don't, but I do know that council members went out and had town hall meetings some months back asking people what they wanted to see in the bond program. And, you know, there is a needs list that the city has for bond programs, which is now up to $13 billion. I don't think we need more projects on the needs inventory list. But one thing I was going to also say, and thank you, Harry, because you reminded me of it, was that why would you continue to build new projects when you don't have the money to operate or maintain them? A new library just opened up in a different part of the city. We were talking last summer about closing branch libraries because we didn't have the personnel to maintain or operate them. And here we're building new libraries. In the past, bond programs were stretched out to accommodate how much money the city had at the time. And now we seem to be kind of condensing them and getting it all done. And one of the arguments for that is, well, construction costs are lower now. Now's the time you want to build things. But you have to think about what it costs to operate and maintain them.
Well, along those same lines, I completely endorse your interest in shoring up the levees, but then I also see the alleys disintegrating and roads in terrible repair, and I don't know how you do all of that. Are you suggesting that you can do both projects?
You can. Well,
or do we get used to a new level of maintenance?
No, we don't want to get used to a new mediocre level of maintenance. We don't. But I think one thing you do is you maintain what you've already got, okay? And then you decide what your priorities are, because money follows where your priorities are. You fund what you think is important. You do that in your home. You do that everywhere. Money goes where your priorities are. I think our priorities ought to be on fewer of these big, flashy projects. I'm not in favor of putting money, city money, into a second Calatrava bridge. You know, that bridge over I-30 is estimated, if you did a Calatrava bridge, to cost $350 million. And I saw a letter to the editor suggesting that if Dallas only came up with 25% of that we could have that bridge. That's $90 million. I can think of a lot of things I'd rather spend $90 million on than a second Calatrava bridge. So that's why I'm saying about funding, deciding where your priorities are and funding them. We've got one flashy bridge. I'm happy with one flashy bridge. I mean, when did we ever vote for flashy bridges anyway? I don't remember that.
Well, you know, it's like Angels Arch, you know, they can compete with that in some fashion.
Bill, who is going to use the Woodall Rogers Bridge Park?
Who, what?
You know the park,
The Woodall Rogers Park.
Is that, to me, strikes me as, maybe it's just me, but like, who's gonna go use that?
It's
Connected
I think-
to all those people.
I think it's great.
Uptown, now running across.
It connects downtown to uptown by covering what they consider to be a very dividing kind of Woodall Rogers highway that you know is down below grade. You know, it's lower. The park will
It'll
be
be
covering,
great.
it'll be equal with the
We'll
city
really
on
expand
both
on
sides.
both
And
activities
this,
for
and so
downtown.
what you'll be doing is you'll kind of be going into a kind of a tunnel when you go down Woodall Rogers now. And the park will be over you.
And they think it will be used.
Yeah, they think it'll be
Oh,
used
yeah.
tremendously. And a lot of that park money was raised through private funding, as was a lot of the Calatrava money, I mean, the design money for the Calatrava Bridge, a lot of that was private money. The construction money was not private money. But they think that the Woodall, I think it's interesting, folks, when you think about this, they saw Woodall Rogers as this really division between what could be uptown and downtown, and you could have this smooth connection. Why isn't the Trinity Toll Road a division between the two sides of the, you know, the levees there? How come that one is okay, but we're spending all this money covering up Woodall Rogers? It seems like inconsistent to me. But anyway, there was a lot of private money in there, and they feel like it's going to really be a good connector between downtown and uptown.